My girlfriend never came home after a night out. I think she's lying about where she was.
Or she might not be your girl.
My girlfriend is unemployed and occasionally goes out on weeknights with her girlfriends in a major city by me. We've been dating 4.5 years and living together for 4 of them. Whoa, a lot of red flags at the top of the story. That's great. By the way, this comes from user throwaway453am. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK storytime subreddit. Her email alerts come through on our shared iPad, and I saw that she took an Uber ride. And it looks like she dropped her friends off as well because the Uber route passes their homes. She was dropped off outside my apartment at 2 a.m. I received the alert afterward and became suspicious. I can use Find My iPhone on our iPad, and I can see that her phone is close by, about 4 blocks away, on the same street. Uber says she was dropped off here. Where I live, it's all dense apartments, and I can't just walk over there to see what's up. It's likely there are several apartments in the building where the GPS says she is, and the GPS could also be off by a building or two on either, say, front or back. I'm freaking out. I've called and texted beginning at 4:45 a.m. with no reply.
Sorry, bro. She's busy right now.
Can't come to the phone. Can't come home.
I've called each of her girlfriends twice and no one has picked up. I'm so worried. Is she okay? Is she cheating? Seriously, guys, any advice right now would be really helpful to me. My heart is beating out of my chest. Do I call her more? Do I wait? Do I call the police? Major update. Her friend just called. She said she spent the night with her. This is a clear-cut lie. I'm getting off Reddit for a bit, but we'll update after we speak. I'm doing my best to be composed right now. Wish me luck. So, update. This is insane. Her friend called me and said that they all stayed at the friend's apartment, and Uber and iCloud tell me that's a lie. So I asked to speak with my girlfriend and was told, oh, she just left. So I called her phone and she did not pick up. I'm watching iCloud. The phone has not moved. I think her friends just nailed her coffin shut. In any case, coming from the friend's apartment, she can only come from 2 directions. The place where iCloud says she is in a different direction. When I see her start to move, I'm going to wait outside around the corner and catch her walking back from an impossible direction based on the story she's going to try to sell me. Her friend called me at 9 a.m. and sounded frantic. Oh my God, your girlfriend came back to my place last night and just fell asleep. We both got really wasted. So sorry that no one called or texted you. But I knew this was a lie. Because this friend's apartment is nowhere near the apartment 4 blocks up the road from me. I have no idea whose apartment this is. I said that's okay and asked to speak to my girlfriend, but was told I couldn't because she just left. Typically, it should take about 20 minutes to get from friend's apartment to my apartment. More than an hour goes by and still no girlfriend. I decided to call her, and I could hear that beep at the end of the ringtone, signaling me that she's on the other line with someone. I watched her on Find My iPhone leave the mystery apartment, stop on a street corner for about 15 minutes, then proceed to walk a different route. What she was doing was buying some groceries.
It wasn't groceries, I'll tell you that.
Sounds like a plan.
It's a plan to deceive, a conspiracy of the highest order.
She's probably also getting OP, like some snacks, like, oh, I got you breakfast. I love you. Here's a coffee.
Imagine she's actually getting breakfast for the other guy.
That's what she's doing.
She's been living with this guy for 4 years and she's doing this to him. She's got no job. Doesn't sound like she's trying to get one. So when she finally did walk in at 10:15 in the morning, her excuse was, sorry, the shuttle was super slow today. Plus, I stopped to get some fresh fruit. No apology, no nothing. She's acting like I'm a psychopath for caring where she had been all night, even though it's uncharacteristic for her to stay out all night. In fact, she usually calls or texts me when she's on her way home from the city. Okay, so we go inside and I say, why don't you tell me about your night? She goes, oh, we just went to the club. That's it. In the club, we all cheat. That's her motto right there. I asked if they stayed there all night. She told me that she stayed there pretty late. This is another lie. Uber says she was picked up at the club at 1:50 a.m. and the clubs here close at 4. On a typical night, she'll come home between 3 and 4 a.m., so I ask if they went anywhere else. Nope, we're pretty wasted, so we went straight from the club to my friend's apartment. When I got there, I passed out on the couch. This makes absolutely no sense because the Uber receipt clearly states that she was dropped off at my apartment. At this point, I say to her, "Are you sure you're telling me everything?" And she gets heated. F you, I already have a father and an overprotective brother. Why the F can't I just go out with my friends for one night without you all over my butt about it? Side note, she goes out with her friends alone 2 to 3 nights a week, and I let that happen. It's not like she doesn't constantly go out with them. I was going to pause really quickly to be like, OP, this is kind of your fault because you have been dating this girl. I don't know how long she's been employed, but you've been living with her for 4 years. Okay. Her not having a job, her not having any responsibilities, at some point you have enabled that behavior to continue.
You have enabled it. I think he's in the clear now. Also, she's going out on weekdays. You can't be going out on weekdays all the time. Do we know how old they are?
I don't think we have ages. I would assume this is 20s, early 20s.
Early 20s. He doesn't know any better. This is how all relationships are to him.
Because they've been together 4.5 years. They've been living together for 4 of those years. So they moved in after 6 months of dating. I mean, that sounds like young, early 20s activities, honestly. So we're getting into some confrontation here, I think. At this point, I tell her about the Uber ride receipt and show her screenshots of the Find My iPhone application. I show her a journal of the things I attempted to do to get in touch with her and explained how worried I was. Her response was, F you. Why the F are you accusing me of this crap? I constantly try to tag myself on Facebook and it shows up as the wrong location. My phone is all effed up anyway. I'm not lying. I went right to friend's apartment. Okay, so why does Uber have confirmation that you were dropped off here? And this is where the story breaks apart. Well, we dropped all the girls off at the apartment first, and then Uber took me here, but I couldn't find the apartment keys anywhere, so rather than calling you and waking you up or ringing the buzzer, I decided to just walk to friend's apartment, which is bull dookie.
Why is she making it more complicated?
Let's see how big this lie can get.
These people don't read like their matches whatsoever. This guy's like, I have a journal of the things I attempted to do to reach out to you, and clearly is responsible enough to provide enough for both of them to live there. And she is going out to the clubs on a weekday, cheating on her man with terrible excuses. There is a disparity. So she was in a simple club outfit with no jacket. It was 14 degrees last night. The streets and sidewalks here are literally sheets of ice. There's no way she walked for 35 minutes at 2 in the morning in 6-inch heels in those conditions through the ghetto in 13 degrees. No chance. She tells me I'm an a-hole and need to believe her. She tells me she's telling the truth. She even says, check my phone. And miraculously, there's no call log of whoever she was speaking with from around 9:45 when I tried calling, and there's a full text convo of her speaking with her friend about how they spent the night at friend's apartment.
Then you had the wrong number.
Well, clearly, with this completely not manufactured evidence, I must forgive you. There's no other explanation. I literally had your location. Do you not know how locations work? Mind you, these texts are all sent during the time period where I see her on Find My iPhone, leaving the apartment to hang out on a random corner. These girls were straight plotting. So I calmly told her that I'm not buying it and that I'm ending the relationship immediately. Yes, I packed a large bag in front of her with my clothing and laptop, and am leaving within the next half hour. She's basically pretending this isn't happening. She's acting cool about it. She's just saying in a normal speaking voice, well, if this is what you want to do, I won't stop you. So that's that. I think she thinks I'm going to flip at the last moment and stay. I think that she thinks she can push the limits and win. I'm not wrong, right? No, you are not wrong. You are doing the exact right thing. If Find My iPhone says you're up the block, don't tell me you stayed a 10-minute car ride away. The GPS is not inaccurate. This is effing reliable science. I don't know what will happen to me from here on out. I've got a 6-month expensive gym membership I need to deal with. We had a mountain trip and Florida trip planned within the next 30 days, plus all of our friends overlap. In any case, I don't know if she cheated, but I'm 99.999% certain that she stayed somewhere else and is actively trying to cover it up. I think that might be some coping mechanism. What do you think that, I mean, clearly, I know what I think. Riley, what happened that night?
We know what happened. If you really want to get some more information, we'll see how loyal your friends are. If this isn't enough evidence for me, which it already is, I would go and bribe. I'd try and get some information. Be like, hey, like, I was really worried about, my girlfriend. Can you kind of like tell me what happened? Because like also some other stuff has not been working out really well. I don't know. I would figure out a story where the girlfriend maybe might be doing something mean to one of the girlfriends. Like, yeah, I saw that she had like these certain type of shoes at her house and they weren't really hers. And then that person's like, I'm missing a pair of shoes. Or like, oh yeah, I have this dress. It's like, I'm missing this dress.
First, you have to take the shoes. Then you have to pin it on the girlfriend. There's a couple of layers there. But you know what the good news is that you can just move right on along. She's actually trying to place blame on me for being possessive. I was called a psycho and a stalker. And she's acting like it doesn't even matter if I leave. F this. I'm out. Nice. And by the way, we never want you to say F this to us because you can constantly listen to full episodes with stories like this. All you have to do is go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, and just search OK Storytime. And then you can have 48 days worth of consecutive podcast content. 24 times 48 hours at the least. So we do have a little bit more story left. Honestly, I think he's got the right mentality here.
Get out of there, dude. Enjoy your friend. I know you got some trips coming up. Make the most out of it.
Go on those trips. I mean, if they're not like, like built for romance, take somebody else. This person was not the right one for you anyway. You need someone who is thoughtful. This really started with OP being worried. OP was like concerned, like my girlfriend didn't come home. And then it just devolved into, oh God, it's this. If you've got any criticism or kind words for me as I start my new life, please comment. I'll come back on once I get to my parents' house later this afternoon. My plan is to live there until I can figure out new living accommodations. Finally, thank you all for the advice and tremendous amount of support this morning. I was in a really bad place and don't know what I would have done without r/relationships. I feel like I was having a panic attack. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And that is the end of that story. Honestly, get tested. Who knows how long she's been cheating on you? This might just be the first time that you caught her. You never know. You already have the conviction to just move forward, which is what you need. And I think the reason she might be so cool about this, where it's like, because she's kind of in hobo mode right now, she's probably thinking, I can just go to the guy I was with last night. I'll just go to his place. She might be thinking that. Who knows? But you don't have to think about her anymore because that's over. Just like this story.